Welcome to Tailored Transformations. I feel so weird saying it. It's because I'm at the beginning of my journey. So on this channel, I am going to be recording every day of my journey to transformation, at least for the first 140 days. I'm very nervous to do this in itself, but I have been on a motivational journey maybe for the past week or so. It's an ongoing lifetime journey, but it's been more amplified over the last week or so. For the last week, I've been pushing myself to get up 6:30 in the morning, take my son, and go out to the park, jog, walk, jog, do a lot of that. All things that my body isn't used to. You know, during this pandemic, I've gotten very comfortable with sitting, not doing anything, or being in the house and telling myself I'm doing all that I can. And when I started walking, I kind of woke up and said, I'm doing a disservice to myself and a disservice to my son, a disservice to my partner, if I am content with the life that I'm leading. You know, we all have big dreams. We say we want things, but I got off track with the spiritual community, and I won't lie, like it was a very hard truth I had to come to terms with. And I'm not saying that things cannot be accomplished with a spiritual mindset, with that connection to body and that connection to higher source. But I have never felt more connected just going out to the park, to working out every morning, to waking up and listening to motivational speeches. Instagram became a huge distraction for me. And not that it cannot be used to its advantage, but all around me I was seeing people talk about meditating. I was talking about meditating. I was talking about, you know, using sound bowl as a therapy. And I realized I'm sitting on my butt every day, not doing anything, not accomplishing anything. I don't have anybody in my immediate circle who I look up to. I want friends that I can look up to. I want peers that I can look up to. So I went and searched for them. I went on YouTube, started listening to people, men in particular, that I probably never would have listened to before. Because in my head, you know, it's like, how can I relate to them? You know, they're millionaires or they're white men, or it doesn't even matter, because I've seen a lot of different kind of people talk. I've seen actors talk. I've seen billionaires talk. Actors who are billionaires, billionaires who aren't actors, you know. And they all say the same thing, but I have to listen to it every day to reprogram my subconscious mind. My subconscious mind is the one that is constantly telling me, oh, you've had enough. You've worked hard enough. You've done enough. And now every morning when I get up and I start my day with listening to one of these speeches, listening to one of these people talk, in my head, whenever I stop, I hear, you're not doing enough. Keep going, keep going. And it's like my strength is building up. The part of me that knows that I'm special, that I'm meant to accomplish great things, is telling me to keep going, even when I don't feel like it. I walk from my house to the park, do 2 miles, go back, and that's about 3 hours in itself. Now, I know that there are world-class athletes who could outrun me any day in circles. But my goal is to get to a point where, even though I don't really have a desire to be an Olympic athlete, that I will one day be able to at least compete with a run or two. I don't know yet. But one of the most important things that I've learned is that it starts somewhere. It does not matter where you start as long as you start. I have made so many excuses saying, you know, and using the form of self-care, you know, as a form to take a break. Like, oh, take a break, it's self-care, it's taking care of yourself. To me, at this point, and this may not resonate with everybody, but self-care is not letting yourself settle, not letting yourself stay in the moment of comfortability. Like, I've been so comfortable. I've been so comfortable with sitting, so comfortable with telling myself that I'm doing everything I can, knowing good and well that I'm not. When I'm out there every morning now, I know that I'm not doing enough. I'm looking back at the past, you know, year or the past 5 years of my life. Like, what have you done? What have you really done? And yes, I have gotten myself to a certain point in my life, but I have not gotten far enough. I have not gotten to the place that I want to be. You know, everybody who followed me on my old page, the Sound Bowl mom, will say, oh, you're a great mom. You know, you're always teaching these things about sound therapy. I am not the most amazing mom that I can be. I'm not the most amazing person that I can be unless I'm out there, no excuse, every day pushing myself to go farther and farther to become a runner. That's like my goal right now, not to necessarily become a runner, but to become comfortable with running. And that is something I'm highly uncomfortable with. I have a big chest. It's not easy, you know, having this, because it makes things a little bit harder. And whenever I go walking every morning, I pass, I'm next to a local university, so I pass girls who run cross country, you know, other women who are out every morning, and it's a particular kind of woman that's out there every morning, and I don't see many that look like me. But one important thing I've learned, it's not about who looks like me. What pushes me is what they do, not what they look like. You know, I could compare myself to anybody in the world, and the only difference between us is that they work harder. They want it more. They show they want it more by working harder, by getting up every morning, by using the time that they have to their advantage. You know, my son needs me. He needs me. He needs to see not, you know, winner, 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 but see somebody who never gave up, who was resilient. I heard a talk, one of the talks that I was listening to, and it was saying that, you know, your ancestors, they didn't give up. They didn't stop and like, oh, this is too hard. They had to keep going. So when I look at myself and what I'm doing, I have to tell myself I have to keep going no matter what. No matter what. This year I've lost friends. This year I have turned away opportunities, you know, all in the name of standing in my truth, standing up for myself. And it's not easy. You know, I stated before that I don't have anybody in my immediate peer circle that I look up to. And I notice the more and more I make that like a thing, like whether I share it on social media, say it out loud, no one in my immediate circle inspires me. They don't inspire me. So I think that if you are on a transformational journey for yourself, find someone that inspires you and do better than them. Do better than them. One thing I wanted to say on my channel, I haven't watched enough, you know, people. I've stayed in a particular kind of video that I've been watching, which are motivational speeches. But on my way back from this morning, my walk this morning, I'm stuttering a little bit. I was listening to Megan Thee Stallion's Thought Shit. And I never really listened to that song. I think when we listen to music a lot, especially in the Black community, or just, you know, whoever likes music in general, we're not listening consciously. So I'm listening to it because this is a big hit on the radio right now, you know, and all I really heard before was hands on my knees, shaking ass on my thought shit. Okay, I got it. But then I really listened to her lyrics, you know, where she's talking about people are going to talk about her. They're going to have tons of stuff to say about her, but I bet you they won't say it to her face because she works harder. There was even a second verse in the song, you know, where she was saying, I'm the shit per the Recording Academy. People can say they're the shit, but when you have, you know, the Recording Academy giving you awards for how hard you work, who can tell you anything? Who can determine your greatness except for you? So I'm going to end it here because I don't really want to be one to make long videos, but I am going to dedicate every day to making a video, and you can show up, like, share, subscribe, comment, and tell me what you want to transform in your life. This is my very first video. I've tried YouTube tons of times, but you know what? I'm trying again, and we'll see where it takes me. So for now, it does not matter where you start, just start somewhere.